probably losing thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in deals, whether it be in SMMA, wholesale, landlords, whatever it might be. You're losing the sale every single time because you just do not have enough passion to the product, or maybe objections are getting to you, or even you're not pre-handling those objections, or even explaining the product in the correct way. In this video, I'm going to show you the correct way, which has got me over $100,000 in sales almost every single month. I've been able to duplicate it with my closers. They've been able to cash collect over $93,000 over and over and over again, because this is a replicatable system that you can just plug and play. You can send this video to literally anybody, any sales guy out there. They're going to understand how to facilitate a sale, get the sale, and actually make money in sales. If you don't know, my name is Andres. 2 years ago, I used to go to door knocking 24/7, used to door knock over 250 doors every single day, where I'm managing multiple offers, multiple portfolios, over 3 different niches. There's in real estate, crypto, and sales, doing over $250,000 in almost every single product that I touch, only because I realized that the sale needs to be facilitated. You can get the closer so many leads, but the closers physically need to slam dunk every single deal. Now, in this video, we're going to explain the info bulletproof system that has generated me and my team over $1 million, and it all starts with the connection stage. I want you to realize that every single one of my closers has back-to-back meetings, and I'm not talking hour meetings, I'm talking 30-minute meetings, 30. So it's 2 calls every single hour. They can't be slacking off. Every question needs to be timed. Every single assumption needs to be assumed. Everything about the sale needs to be facilitated and quick, because the quicker that we can get the sale, the quicker that we can onboard and get to the next call and make $10,000, $20,000 every single day consecutively using this framework. And it all just starts in the connection stage, right? So hey man, you're making money. That connection stage instantly builds every single bit of rapport. You don't need to ask what the weather is. You don't need to ask all these different things. You simply don't need to ask anything of that, because the prospect wants to make money. If they're on the call, if it's a biz op offer, they want to make money. You don't have to talk about the weather, the Suns, sports, teams, health, food. You don't. Get straight to the point. You build rapport by aligning yourself towards their goals, to what they want to do, and instilling FOMO at the very end of the call, right? After that connection stage, right, you're going to start to begin to probe, okay? So it's now the situation stage, right? Walk me through what it is that you're doing. You're making money. You work at Walmart. Okay, cool. Walk me through what it is that you do at Walmart, right? How's that going, right? How long has that been going for? Make it an issue, because our prospect is on the call. They subconsciously don't realize that they have an issue. They don't know what they don't know. You got to make that known, okay? How's that going? How long have you had that issue for? How many hours a day has that been taken away from you, my man? How's the money? I'm guessing it's not bad. Start assuming right away at Walmart, of course it's not bad. I used to work at Walmart myself. It's $3,000 in a month. I'm not going to ask him how much money are you making, because I already know, right? I'm assuming it's not a lot of money. So how long have you been there? I already know his situation, and he, as a prospect, feels comfortable enough to tell me his situation, because I'm assuming it, and I know I'm taking an educated guess. That guy feels safe with his money around me, because I know the future of him, right? I know that the route he's going to take if he leaves the call is bad, which is why I'm going to conquer this call and take it over. Right now, with people who don't want to tell you and they're making around 10 to 15K, I want you to be as delusional as possible, because if you're a closer also making 10 to 15K, you feel a little bit below them, okay? I don't want you to feel below them. Be so delusional that you are making $100,000 in a month. Screw this video. You're already making $100,000 in a month. Okay, now, whenever you talk to somebody making 10 to 15K, how would you talk to them? You would talk to them specifically just like how you would talk to somebody starting out, a little bit shitty, shit on them a little bit, right? Because they have been a failure again and again and again. Okay, cool. A 10 to 15K a month person also has, because why can't you scale to 30K? Why has it been a year since you've been stuck at 10 to 15K? That's how you got to ego check these guys. Okay, so when it comes to the type A prospects, okay, how much are you making right now? Okay, how long have you been stuck there? A year. Why has it been so long? I mean, bro, like people making 30K in a month in like a couple months. What got you stuck? I'm trying to help you out, man. And what has you stuck? That brings you so much authority, because now the prospect feels like he's safe in your hands, because you're making way more. You can see the future. You can sense everything. Start assuming, okay, cool. I'm guessing you just don't have enough time to run the business, right? Or I'm guessing you haven't been able to hire the right sales rep, or is it the systems of the sales reps? Which of the two has been keeping you stuck? Figure out what's keeping them stuck and actually solve the situation right off the bat as quick as possible. Okay, now when it comes to the financial qualification, right? Listen, the nurture sequence that I've explained in the video should take care of this. But if your system doesn't take care of that, I want you to teach your closers that they have to ask, hey, listen, we have several packages, just so I know which one to actually steer towards? How much would you say you have to invest or even set aside to invest into yourself? Okay, cool. Let's say it's a real estate offer. Okay, cool. How much would you say you have to invest for your initial property? That way we can get you to 30K a month. Obviously, the initial investment is going to be for the info offer, but let's assume it was for a property, for an Airbnb, for a wholesale deal, for a fix and flip. How much do you have set to the side where you can invest into X so you can be X, so you can make X? Okay, that's how you financially qualify a person. You should be doing this maybe twice within the call. That way you realize if they double down on their answer, if they say I have 10K set aside and you ask in a different format and they also tell you they have 10K set to the side, they're not lying to you. Okay, now I like to call this a fake jab. All right, and I guess in an ideal situation, let's say this is really just proving them to see if they're going to make a decision on the spot. And I guess in an ideal situation where you see everything lining up for you in 3 months time, maybe even long term, okay, what do you see yourself doing and what are you doing? And financially, where do you want to be short term? And I guess and this is the fake jab, okay, this is just the best case scenario, okay? So I guess in an ideal situation, where do you see everything lining up in 3 months time? This is just you getting an initial commitment. Moving on to the problem awareness, this is when the sale actually starts getting serious. All right, so now let's say they worked at Walmart, they worked at a warehouse job. Okay, cool. Do you like what you're doing right now, man? Seriously, like be honest. Do you like what you're doing? If no, then why not? If yes, then why? Always question their answers every single time. Don't move on to the next question. Always respond to their question. Don't acknowledge, respond their question. You don't want to acknowledge, say, okay, I understand, and move on. Don't acknowledge, answer their question. Okay, all right, so why not? Well, because of this. Okay, cool, but I mean, like, you've been in it for 3 years. What do you feel like has been preventing you from getting to the next stage of life? What is that, man? That's gonna be their selling point. Maybe it's like not mentorship, not doing the right business model. That's when you gotta tone in. Okay, cool, not that right business model. Have you tried any other business model before, man? And then that's when you can start getting into the probing questions. Another question for the problem awareness to make them realize that they're the issue is what makes you feel like you're doing right now isn't enough though. What are you doing right now that it's not enough? What made it tick inside of your head that it wasn't enough? Another question where you can probe and actually problem awareness is why not do the why now? Because obviously New Year's is literally around the corner. I think it's like in 3 months. Why not push it till then, like 3 months, you know, and start it in January? That'd be a fresh start. Why now? Because usually people come to us whenever they're running from a burning building and they're running from something. So what are you running from? What's the why that you even jumped on the call today? Now you're figuring out their why, the problem awareness. Right now for the objection preventer, this is gonna be the I think about it objection. Okay, now you gotta double down on what you just said. Again, don't just settle for simple answers. Okay, you don't want to settle. All right, cool. So when somebody gives you an answer, okay, double down on that. All right, and are you willing to settle for that, man? You hate your job, and are you willing to settle for that? No. Okay, because you don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to. But why? And then question them again. Double down again. All right, cool. Because you don't have to do it right now. You know, you can do it maybe in 2 months' time. The problem can still stay right now. It's always gonna stay. Maybe you can just push it off to 2 months' time. So this just literally minimizes the I need to think about it objection. All right. Now, this is to actually test their personality, who they are as a person. Are they somebody who's willing to invest into somebody or into something or into a system? Are they that person? I call this a personality tester. And yeah, man, out of curiosity, let's say everything were to line up with whatever it is that you need, and you know, bottom of your heart, that we can take you to 30K a month. Is this even something you would even second guess, man? Or is this even something you would say no to, right? Or why wouldn't you move forward on the call? There's different variations that you could use. Get that initial commitment. If they say no, figure out why that BS is. So look, if they say no, some kind of BS, all right, I want you to actually talk it through. Don't ignore that. Don't keep moving forward if they say no. This question breaks or makes the whole entire sale. So if they say no right now, okay, bro, can I ask you a question? Okay, cool. So that version of yourself, the one that got out of Walmart and is now making 30K a month, if I brought that guy on the call today, what would he say? Would he make decisions like this? Yes or no? And then why, right? Or another variation could be like, okay, cool. What kind of decision-making process would the 30K a month person do? What kind of person is that? What kind of investments does he do? And why aren't you that person right now? Okay. Always tie it down to that, because I want you to realize that people are this, right? This is the 0K, the 10K, the 15K month version of themselves. They're trying to get to the next level. You can't physically sell this person, but you can sell the new version of themselves, the one that you're creating on the call, right? This person has to go away. Now you're selling this new one. Whenever you realize and you unlock this version of them, then slap the business model, then slap Airbnb, then slap wholesale, slap fix and flip, slap anything on top of this guy, because this guy is a walking piff. This guy is literally going to give you everything and much more. This guy is the one who's going to be your biggest testimonial. Now, double down on whatever you just said, right? Right, man, because like what matters at the end of the day is that you're willing to take many steps towards being the version of yourself that is making 30K a month. Literally engrave 30K a month, 30K a month, 30K a month, 30K a month. You wouldn't do that if you were at 30K a month. You would do this if you were at 30K a month. How would you feel if you were at 30K a month? 30K a month. Engrave that into their head over and over and over again. This is for a prospect that does not believe, or even an egotistical prospect that does believe, but they want to get to the next step. So they're already good and they're trying to get better. Literally subconsciously sell them, but saying whatever they want over and over and over again, and re-loop back to the question. Okay, cool, man. I mean, now I'm glad you see that now, but I guess let me ask you again, is there any reason why you want to move forward today on the call? If they say yes, now they would move forward. Okay, cool. Now solution awareness. This is where you're now pitching, right? Okay, man, before we even start talking though, I mean, have you even done anything to get out of Walmart and get to 30K a month? What have you done, right? If they haven't done anything, ask why not. Double down, right? Don't just acknowledge and move forward. Double down. Okay, how come, man? Just never wanted to take the risk, right? Or what's preventing you from taking that action? Well, you're not going to put in the work here, man. Or at the end of the day, it's up to you, bro. I'll give you everything you need, but you have to put in the work so you can get the outcome, right? I mean, you've seen everything online. Why haven't you gotten started? So many questions that you can stack up over and over and over again to figure out why. If somebody has an action, it's usually tied down to fear. So now it's going to be a testimonial. Attach that guy who's making $0 a month to a testimonial that he wants to be like. Now, if in the solution awareness, they say yes, figure out the real reason why they failed in the first place and connect it to the version of themselves that wouldn't have failed. For example, if Timmy wanted to make 30K a month and he failed doing drop shipping, okay, cool. Did he join some sort of a program or he do it alone? Either way, both questions are dead end, because if he did it alone, okay, why did you do it alone? Why didn't you want to ask for help? Was it an ego thing or just didn't have the money at the time? If it's they did join a program, figure out why they failed within the program. Was it really the program itself or was it really just them, right? Okay, cool. If it's the program, did the program not have testimonials? Okay, cool. What did the testimonials do that you didn't, my man? Was it the timing factor? Did you just put in more time? Okay, cool. So why didn't you put in more time? Okay, so can we both agree that if you did put in time, you would become successful? Okay, cool. Because that's how this works as well, man, right? Because obviously we can teach you everything about real estate, but you're not really going to learn anything if you don't put in the time. That's obviously if you're selling a real estate offer. Or even if, right, they start blaming themselves again, try and blame the program a little bit. Try and give them a little bit of hope. Okay, cool. But I mean, maybe the program was bad. Was the program like bad? They say no, they double down on themselves. Okay, cool, man. So I mean, like, have you tried anything else? Because I know you realize that it is your fault. And that's completely fine, right? But have you tried anything else? Or did you just lose one time and then just gave up? You didn't try again. Why not? So now you go into the restaurant analogy, okay? If you try a burger at Burger King and you get burned, are you not going to try Five Guys? Why wouldn't you try another burger? And if they try another burger and they also fail, do the same thing, okay? You buy one thing, you date a girl, maybe you date a Latino, you date a white girl, you date a black girl, it doesn't matter. Why would you stop dating just because you got broken up once? Make them realize that. The moment that you make them realize that is now when you can actually repitch the solution again. So now let's say we were able to help you to get to that 30K a month. So now this is where you're probing into the why, because what sort of outcome would that bring for you, right? Would it be money, happiness, freedom? What would it be? What exactly is money going to unlock for you? Let me know. Go, right? So now you don't really want to tone in on feeling. How would you feel this? How would you feel that? What if you didn't have that? You don't want to consequence too much, because the moment that you consequence too much, you're selling too hard. You're just automatically selling too hard. Don't just consequence that much, right? So now after you get through the limiting beliefs, now you're breaking every single limiting belief that they have. Now you're going into the consequence stage, right? So man, yeah, man, out of curiosity, what would happen if things got worse, right? And you didn't succeed and you didn't get to the 30K a month. What would you do then? That's one consequence question. And are you willing to settle for that? Double down every single time. Because if they give you an answer once and they give you a separate answer twice, you know that they're lying, because people don't lie twice. They're going to tell you the truth twice though, right? So now, and whatever the answer they give you, then move forward. You don't want to consequence them too much, right? Maybe even say, I mean, why not push it back again? Right? You're trying to get that initial commitment, because obviously they don't have to. They don't have to get 15 new leads. They don't have to get one done for you property. They don't have to get one done you for Airbnb. You don't have to. You can stay in the same spot that you've been. Why is it that you want to, right? Because at the end of the day, it's only going to help you. This call isn't for me. It's only for you. Okay. So at this moment of the call, this is where I get very serious. Okay. This is where I genuinely actually want to help them. And I want to make it clear, right? So now you're getting to the point where like you're getting very serious. So it's like you're building up like this. You're building yourself up to now all the way down, right? When it gets to this point of the presentation, I actually lower down my tone a lot. I look at him dead in the eye. I was like, hey, listen, I'm here to help you one way or another. together, man to man, what do you genuinely feel like you need from me as a coach to get you to XYZ? It's like I'm price dropping. I just shut up. It's like I'm price dropping, okay? And that genuinely hits them because I already emotionally broke every single barrier, right? That they're gonna tell me the truth. And now after they tell me the truth, I acknowledge, because based on what you've said, what we do here would definitely work. Like, would it help you at all? So that's where you transition to whatever you're selling, because now they literally migrated from the old version of themselves and now they're looking at the new one, the one making 30K a month subconsciously because they're that business owner already. So now you're offering the solution which they're going to be able to get and buy. All right. So this is when you're actually presentation. You want to label the issue, feature the solution, the overall outcome, and clarity and confirmation. 4 things you got to do while pitching, right? Labeling the issue. Remember when you were having trouble doing X. Remember when you couldn't X. Remember when you were stuck doing X. All the problems that they told you at the beginning of the call, I want you to remember them and actually bring them back because you got to resurface, right? Okay, remember this. So the way we solve that with our clients is then you insert your feature, whatever it is that you're selling for X. So what that means for you is you insert the outcome. So remember when you didn't have leads? Well, this is how you get 50 new leads so you can get 30K a month. Does that make sense? Quick, that's it. Okay, do you see how that will solve X? Any questions on we can get you to 30K a month? All right, cool. Usually by then, if you're able to do every single one of these steps beforehand, they will either say 1 or 2 things, right? They're going to ask you an objection. And an objection, whenever you do every single one of the things right, is actually a buying question. You get over that buying question and they buy. Or it's going to be like, fuck it, let's just do it, man. But usually 5 times out of 10, it's always going to be an objection towards the buy, right? So now what you're looking for is body language, right? In tonality within the prospects whenever you're asking certain questions. So for example, it's like you're temp checking them, right? I don't normally say this, but for the temp check, it's like, okay, from a scale 1 to 10, do you really think that we can help you, right? Generally get to your goals. Because you told me X, we're trying to get you to X by solving X, right? Do you feel like everything we just broke down on the call today will help you, right? Most of the times they're going to tell you yes, right? But I want you to realize that you can't always tone on that. Every single one of my calls goes very similar to this. Whenever somebody has a lot of limiting beliefs, I tend to break them right off the bat. Break them. The pitch in the product is literally me pitching it in like 8 minutes. 8 minutes, 5 minutes. I slap the product on top of the person that they want to become, and then I sell them based on the outcome. That's all you need to do, right? There's questions in between. I'm literally going to plug in as many video clips of me actually selling a prospect on how I actually do and sell this way. That way you can see a live action. You can just ask me questions based on anything you see today. Now, I want you to realize that if you don't understand these fundamentals, you're never, ever going to be able to compete with somebody who does. This is how you're able to literally cash collect over $100,000 in less than 30 days every single time. And it's literally replicable because I've flown out multiple of my salesmen who are now selling for me in duration of multiple companies doing the exact same. Every one of my salesmen, I can plug in a system and they're going to print $100,000 if the system is right. Literally watch my system videos, get your system right, get one of my salesmen, that's $100,000 if you do it right, if you don't mess up. Now, this is the end of the video. If you found this valuable, type in a comment. Whatever you want to see, I'll make a video on. I'm trying to scale myself to $1 million a month, and I'm trying to scale over 10 companies to $1 million a month. And I know I'm going to do that by this time next year. Just because I'm throwing this out there right now, I will be one of the best and I will be one of the greatest. And I don't play to become second. I play to always knock out the first. So if you like this channel, literally drop a like, drop a subscription. Let me know any video that you want to see and type it down in the comments.